many of you are going through this right now. What is school going to look like? If you know what school will look like, how long is it going to stay that way? Well, we're lucky enough to have Principal Vivian Nash answer some of my questions on building a school culture that can withstand pressure and stress like we're all currently experiencing. Vivian is a fourth-generation educator on her mother's side, with every generation having been teachers since the time of slavery. She was named the 2019 Far Western Region's Principal of the Year by Gamma Phi Delta, while principal at Glenelg Downs Elementary School in the Cartwright School District in Phoenix, Arizona. So first I asked her how she was handling the current COVID-19 crisis at her school to ensure her teachers and students thrive as well as they can right now.
So running a school in a completely different environment that I don't have any of the answers to, and really no one does, the important thing has been just to keep everyone's spirits and morale up as we go through it. And I'm just like, I'm not going to pretend that I know something that I don't know, but just know that I have your best interest at heart. And from there, we're just going to roll with it. Whatever it is, we just going to roll with it. It'll be fine.
Now, that is something we can all learn from. I wanted to dive in and hear from her how she reflected on the culture she's built so that in these times, she and her team can strive under pressure. So I wanted to know what the base of that culture she built is.
Well, I think it's approaching it initially with, it's not about me at all. It's all about the mission that we have, which are the children that have been placed in our care. And so any staff member that's there has to be about the kids that we are blessed to serve. And I look at it as, we have 760 kids at our school. So me by myself can't effectively touch and really inspire and move all 760 students. But my team can, my teachers can. So I am very teacher focused in making sure, number one, that I'm supportive and making sure that they have what they need in order to do the important job that they have to do. But it's also very much a shared leadership. You can't just go in your room and shut the door and do what you do. I need to know what you're doing. I need for you to share your talents with everybody, because the only way we're going to be at our very best is just the synthesis of all of us sharing our strengths. And that's how we're able to do it, because even when we come up with an idea, I had talked a little bit about our promotion ceremony. Well, that happened as a synthesis of ideas. I thought of it one way, and they're like, well, why don't we do this? And then the synthesis of the ideas, you can't even say it was one person's ideas. It was collectively everybody's ideas. So you get buy-in that way. And you have, it gets people back to the whole purpose on why they went into teaching in the first place. Because you can get dragged down with just the of teaching, just the stuff. But if you get back to the reason why you got into teaching and really working to your strengths and bringing that forward and sharing that, it just creates an environment where everybody wants to be there, everyone's buying into what we're doing because they have a piece of it. It's theirs. It's not mine. It belongs to them. And collectively, we get it done.
Which is fantastic. But in the end of the day, we all know that teacher retention is a challenge, especially in a school like Vivian's, which has a 96% free and reduced price lunch student population. So how, as a leader, does she recruit and choose the right teachers for her school?
Initially, just in the interview process, I make it very clear about, what our expectations are and the kind of environment that we have, and do they think they could be a part of that environment, and what do they have to offer to the environment, because again, you're not going to go back in your classroom and just shut the door and do whatever, with your students. We need you a part of the team to help all of us, all of our students. So, and most teachers want to be a part of something like that because they understand that, it's about the teachers feeling empowered to show their strengths and to be a part of decision making and to make it a better place. It's not top heavy. It's all of us in it together. And so we've created that culture.
Now, the last thing I wanted to know from Vivian was, what words have inspired and guided her much in the same ways as we're learning from others today? Let's have a listen.
Well, this isn't my quote, but another principal who was very successful for a while. One of the things that she said is that it's not about you, but it's all about you. You know, as a leader, you do set the tone. And so when I first started as a principal, I was kind of scared of that. Like, that's just like such a big responsibility. But the way that I've learned is drawing on the strengths of everyone around us so that, you know, again, collectively, we can get the job done. Because if you just went on my own strengths, we'd have a lot of weaknesses. But together, if we're pulling on everybody's strength, then together we can get it done. So it's not about me in terms of just what I have to bring. It's about what all of us. But then it is about me because I open it up for people to be comfortable to do that and for them to share and to be willing to risk and to create that environment where they do feel comfortable to do that.
All right, so to summarize our build your team skill, 1, express that you have your team's best interests at heart and treat others with grace and empathy. 2, make your mission be about the strengths of others. 3, don't get sucked into the day-to-day. 4, attract people who will help the collective effort. And 5, it's not about you, but sometimes it is. Now, great leaders dare to feel like they can make a difference. And building your team and culture is the first step. Now,